So if we look at the beginning of time, when God created Adam and Eve, and when we look at the first sin, when we look at that and we look at how they become ashamed and how the process of that whole thing, and you really look at that message of how that is, we're doing the same thing today. When we you ever notice when you watch the cop show, or you've ever been in that situation where you're speeding? Have you ever been pulled over? What is the first thing you say? Oh, I was going the speed limit. Yeah. Well, I clocked you at 95 and you're in a 35. I think that would be considered speeding, probably even a felony. So wow, we don't admit. We try to make excuses. We try to do the blame game on someone else. You ever notice when you was a kid, if you had siblings and stuff, and something gets broken, you're like, he did it. Someone else did it. It wasn't me. And I just really think that that's neat to look at that. And so I'm gonna go ahead and tell like a little graphic part of a story and tell you. I believe that I've been chosen by God for so many different things in my life, but I believe that He could use my life as an example, just as an analogy, to get you to the gospel, to get you to the message that He's trying to unlock in you, to give you, to knock on that shell, to press the soil around you, that seed, and make it burst open so that you can grow. And then He wants to water you. And maybe this is what it is. It could be the pressure that you need to burst open and grow. It could be the water that you need. It could just be the fertilizer. I don't know what the process is of where you're at, but God knows, and He's here to let you know of how much He loves you, and He shows that by what He sacrificed. He gave His only begotten Son so that we should not perish but have everlasting life. We took on that generational sin, that generational curse when Adam and Eve ate of the fruit, and then we took on the same thing of being ashamed. We're very ashamed. When you get around people, what is the root of nearly all of our stuff? When we start getting ticked off, and when something happens and we're like, oh, it wasn't me, everything has to do with being ashamed. And then the pride comes in, and all these things come in, and they're all part of the same tree. Yeah. And so this tree that's trying to root in our life is from being ashamed. So when Jesus defeated death by death on the cross, there is no need for that shame anymore. That has been defeated. So don't let the enemy lie to you in your life, in your situation, that you need to be ashamed. Study to show thyself approved. The workman needeth not be ashamed, correctly dividing the word of truth. And there's so many things about that. Neither do you need to be ashamed. Yeah, you don't need to be ashamed. By the grace of God, you've been saved. By the grace of God, by the loving nature of God, the debt has been paid. God is a holy God. There had to be a sacrifice. There had to be a sacrifice. It had to be a godly sacrifice. Nothing else could pay that price but giving His only begotten Son for the sin that has been rooted at that moment of taking that fruit and doing the blame game, that whole thing. That deal. And what we do these days and stuff, when something happens automatically, it's when we get angry, we're like, you're the one who made me angry. When something happens, it's your fault that you made me do that. When you pull out in traffic and then you cause an accident, it's your fault because you were doing this or that. No, it's my fault because I had an attitude that I could not suppress, because I don't fast and pray and I don't keep myself in check. And even if you didn't do that, you didn't keep yourself in check and you did the thing and you caused the accident. Yeah, you cause the problems because you can't keep yourself in check. Yeah. And then here it comes. All this other stuff comes on top of that and just builds on it. But Jesus defeated death by death. He defeated the attitude. He defeated all that evil that could be in you. Be set free today and know that Jesus defeated those things in your life. Be set free and let those chains of bondage be broken.